Good morning, all of y'all. Beautiful people, wonderful souls. I'm here today with my kooky librarian glasses to come through with a little bit of diamond school action. Today I want to talk about one of the most incredible diamond versions that the Earth created. Seeing as carbon starts out as one pure molecule, and the Earth is a painterly, gorgeous, wonderful place for things to come into being, the champagne diamond, the focus of our school session today, little nuggets like this, champagne diamonds have a very specific and beautiful chemical history. So champagnes, to start, are graded on a spectrum of saturation of color in the hue of brown. So brown diamonds can be fully saturated in one end of the C spectrum and a lighter color at the other end of the spectrum. So they're graded like C1, C2, C3. I personally use a lot of the lighter champagne diamonds, but you'll see champagne, cognac, chocolate, there's all different names for the color of brown diamonds. And all of that really is just coming from how that chemical interaction took place. So a little backstory on the champagne. When the carbon atoms, the carbon molecules, are inside of Earth's magma, being coalesced with heat and pressure, like millions of years of being twisted and turned and pushed and pulled and pressurized, if there's any trace elements present, that is what will take a diamond, which you normally think of as white or clear, and impact the color, or sometimes the inclusions. But in this case, with the champagne, we're talking just about the color. So when nitrogen is present in that moment and as a trace element, you're going to come up with this beautiful spectrum of what we call the C scale of champagne. They can be brownish, they can also be yellowish. There's a lot of different ways that champagne presents itself, and I've been using these stones since like the very, very, very beginning of making fine jewelry, because at the time, nobody thought they were cool. Imagine that. It's crazy. Nobody really was working with them, so I really love them. I want to show you a little bit of what they look like up close. Here's an example of the Hazeline stud. I'm going to show you that up close. These are beautiful pale champagne, super, super twinkly. I use these obviously in a lot of the Hazeline solitaire rings, and I mean, I've used them in all kinds of rings, but it's really fun to put them into fine jewelry. In terms of scale, champagne diamonds can be super, super teeny, or they can be gobstopper huge. In some cases, I like to use the champagne just as a detail in the really, really light elements of pave. So I'll show you a couple pieces up close that look like that, but I even use them a lot with like Future Heritage Project. And they look so pretty, like tonally in the yellow gold, because champagne is a warm tone, and yellow gold also being a warm tone. I think they're really nice together. Of course, we want to show you the difference between champagne when it's rose cut, which that would be these two pieces here, what I'm using in like a Bia or a Theta. And then there's champagne that's full cut, like this beautiful pear shape next to the white in the new Trois et Noir ring, which is a super favorite. I also love to use them in pendants and in contrast with white diamonds. So I'll show you an example of a beautiful Luna necklace that is made with a rose-cut champagne diamond center and a white diamond halo for contrast, because I think it's really beautiful to highlight that difference between the white sparkly diamond and the champagne diamond, and also like a full cut versus a rose cut, where you're getting like a lot more sparkle from the full cut and the rose cut is a little bit more like a window pane. It's much less prismatic, but more like a kaleidoscopic, I'll say. One really, really interesting thing about champagne diamonds, such as this gorgeous little number here, is that the vast majority of them have been coming out of one single mine in Australia called the Argyle mine. It was operational for up to, I think it was a little bit over 800 million carats of diamonds came out of that site. Not all of them gem quality, but the vast majority of them were colored. And that ranged from pink, which are extremely rare and insanely beautiful. Don't sell a lot of those because of the price point. I mean, you're talking like queens and kings with the pink diamonds. Love them. But the champagne are a little bit more affordable and come from a similar impact of the earth and therefore from a similar mine. So the Argyle mine closed in 2020 after it was tapped completely. And they are one of the first mining sites that has gone back to try and rehabilitate the land by putting all the debris back and reforesting and all of this. It is located in Australia. Don't know if I mentioned that or not. So yeah, it's a very interesting long journey of tectonic plates and, you know, and the earth shifting and moving, not just on the surface, but underneath. So the Argyle mine now being closed means that the world supply of champagne diamonds at the moment was largely extracted in the past. And so the wonderful, beautiful thing about many of the stones that we have on hand in the store, whether they're finished or they're loose stones like these little diamonds I have with me now, is that they're very rare. They really truly are. And they're only going to become more rare unless there is another location that is discovered or that turns up more champagne diamonds. The vast majority of the diamonds in the world are, you know, in the flow. They're in the marketplace and they're being traded and collected and used and set up in jewelry and maybe even dismounted and used in another piece of jewelry. You know, these stones, they don't disappear, they don't go away. They are spectacular and collectible, beautiful things. But yeah, they're rare. They don't just endlessly come from the earth. So it's beautiful to be reminded that that is the case here. So if you're interested in a champagne diamond, I highly recommend getting in touch. We have an incredible procurement team. Shout out to Carlos. And we're able to locate all kinds of amazing things from all over the world. And of course, if you have ever heard of it, my little jewel bar situation, I have a penchant for collecting stones because when I see beautiful ones, even if I'm not ready to put it into a ring just yet, I will add it to my collection just so that I have it, and just in case, like with this necklace. I think I had this, I don't even know for how many years, and it just felt like it called to me in that moment, and I was like, let's set it up. It needs to be a necklace, a Luna. But yeah, I have other ones that just might just be sitting and waiting for you to come and see them. So that's it for today. I hope that it was educational. Please pop any questions you may have into the notes below, and yeah, reach out if you want to see me. I'll see you on the next one.